Greetings everyone and welcome to a double feature draft. So this one will be releasing on Monday, and there will be double feature drafts on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and of course on Friday. Neon Dynasty will start, assuming the update works fine and the game is actually playable right after that, because in my time zone the update is usually, when a new set releases, the update is ready about 8 or 9 o'clock my local time in the evening. So if there's any kind of a hiccup with that, it might be too late for me to draft. But if the game is actually, working right away after the update, I will be able to draft on Thursday to have a Friday video in that case. All right, so this pack has, although the Splendid Reclamation isn't good, Can't Stay Away is actually quite nice, but it is 2 colors. I should just take the Flame Blessed Bolt here. The uncommons are nice, but this is just the most, the most flexible card, also considering it's quite powerful. And someone took the other rare here. I wonder if there were 2 mythics here, but I mean, maybe someone just didn't care about the mana form Hellkite. It's not exactly a constructed card, although I guess it could be, but I haven't seen really decks that utilize this thing. Alright, so it's going to be the pick over the Moonrage's Slash. Otherwise, the Moonrage's Slash would have been easily the pick, even though I really value the Dormant Grove. It would have been better to just pick the same color high-quality removal spell, but here I take the Dragon because, well, it's not removal, but it's just a very efficient beater, 4 mana 4/4 flyer, and the non-creature ability related to casting non-creature spells is really good, and it makes your clock very fast, and you can also get some blockers with it too, with instants. So easy pick there. And okay, now it's the first pack when I could consider taking some other color card. There is still the Voldaren Ambusher, but it really requires quite a heavy involvement with vampires, which would mainly mean that I would be black-red. I don't really want to. What I'm trying to say, this is more like a golden card, not just a mono-red card. So I'm not taking that. It's gonna be between Child of the Pack and Traveling Minister. Both are amazing cards. But I just like the Traveling Minister so much, and I have already a 4 mana card here, so I'll take the Minister. I think it is really, really strong card. Even though, I mean, pure power level wise, this can be better, but just take the mana cost into consideration, and this is just way too good to pass up in this pack, I think. Also, the pack had more than a few white cards. So, I mean, if white is open, that was a great pick, of course. That said, it was only pick number 3, and with these double rare packs, you can't really, I mean, I basically always say in these double feature drafts that the first few picks are very bad at, when you try to decipher the signals you're getting, because people may just rare draft. For example, from this pack, 2 rares are missing and 1 uncommon, so I mean, those could be just red drafters. That said, my colors are very nicely open here. I would be happy with the Fleeting Spirit or maybe even Kindly Ancestor, but Moonrage's Slash is now I don't have to pass it. I already passed one when I took the Hellkite, but there's also, by the way, the Covetous Castaway and the Falcon Abomination, which are decent blue cards here. There are 2 other blue cards which are not, that good, but these are very nice ones. But I'll of course take the uncolor removal spell here. Okay, so currently not a lot of white here, so Adamant Will is not the pick. If I would stay white-red, I could take the Ardent Elementalist, but there are still a bunch of blue here, and I saw blue in the previous pack. Blue could be open. Now the Elementalist has 2 nice targets already to pick here, but the Scarp Wrangler can be really good. Also the Bait Hook Angler is good. That's a Wrangler and this is an Angler. Okay, I don't even know what those words mean. So, I mean, I would take the Scarp Wrangler over the Bait Hook, but it's now a decision between. Yeah, I guess this is a fine card, but 4 mana 2/1. I mean, you really. I mean, the creature, it's a 2-for-1, and you can get high quality removal spells. But I mean, if blue is that open, I maybe should just move blue, and I'm very happy with the Scarp Wrangler pick. And now I'm getting here Blessed Geist from white compared to Lantern Bearer from blue, and this is like a million times better. Well, no, million, maybe not million times better, but this is just clearly the better card, so I will try to be blue-red now based on these picks. Festival Crasher giving being passed to me. I don't mind Harvestite Infiltrator. It's a nice 3-drop. Of course, a 3-2 trample isn't that good, but when it's night, it's a 4-4 trample, and you only. I mean, it's not that good for 3 mana. But if you sometimes it will be a night, and this is quite big. All right, so yeah. But anyway, Festival Crasher is what I'm looking at here. And this one is a weak pack. There are 3 white cards, but they are not that good here, so I could take one just in order to anticipate sort of anticipate that I might. I mean, let's say I open a white rare, then I could be still drafting white. But the problem is these are just not exciting cards at all. I don't care about them. I'm not sure if I mean, I don't care about the Storm Rider Spirit either. I'm thinking the Candle Guide or maybe even the Honeymoon Hearse, which is not a good card. But if I find multiple 1-drops, this is early enough in the draft that I might find the support for it. I'm defaulting with these on the sideboard. And this is of course a best of 1 draft format too, but it's not a good card. But when you have the cheap creatures, it can be quite good in that case. But it requires a lot from the deck. Here it's a decision between Evolving Wilds and the Stitched Assistant. But I already have one nice sacrifice fodder for it, so I will take the Stitched Assistant over the mana fixing here. Here, Sun Gold Barrage. Even if I was drafting white, I won't be playing this. This is decent in best of 3 when you can sideboard it in, but toughness 4 creature, it doesn't happen in every deck, so I'll take the black card, because if I open something great black, I'm happy to have the Undead Butler in my deck. Okay, so there's another Ambusher, but I have no vampires here. Pax Betrayal, though, is not good. Flare of Fate, Skywap Scarp. I usually don't play it, but maybe I'll pick it now. I mean, it's not the worst. It's definitely, I like it more than the Storm Rider Spirit. This is just too low toughness. Repository Scarp, actually, with the stuff I can bring back, is now going to be a fine pick. This is probably not a... Okay, the Amalgam is quite nice, actually. But that is... the Fear of Death isn't necessarily what I want to have. It doesn't work with Festival Crasher, for instance, but this is not really... It does work with the mana from Hellkite. This thing says non-creature spells. This says instant or sorcery. But yeah, I don't really like it too much. Alright, so Consuming Tide is not good. It's just, I mean, you don't want to use a card and 4 mana for this effect. There's no guarantee you will even get any good value out of it. Alright, so pretty, low amount of playables for my colors. Even if I'm playing white. Oh no, there's a Candle Crow, which would be good if I'm white-red. Or white-blue even. I could even be white-blue, although I don't want to... Yeah, but I have the dragon and removal spells. I'm not going to... ignore red here. Alright, so I could take the 2-drop random thing, but I'm not really werewolf deck, so I'll take the Geist Wave, it's fine. Fine bounce spell, totally. Nebelgast, Intruder, Electric Revelation, Abomination, Dread Knight, Silverbolt. Okay, there are some cards I could pick, color-wise. There are also, I think the Concealing Curtains is the best card in the pack, and then Taxidermist is also a very nice green card, but I'm not switching colors here, because I have totally acceptable options for my colors, and I do like the trick potential of this Intruder, so I might prefer it over the Abomination, although I do have 2 exploit creatures. Okay, that does, and also the Scarp Wrangler, which does like to have the food. Also, if I'm playing the Honeymoon Hearse, this is actually quite nice. These are from different sets, but the Decayed Zombies do work very well with the Honeymoon Hearse. Okay, I'll take the Abomination because of synergy. Pack 1, pick 1 situation. I mean, if it was, I kind of hoped it wouldn't be between those 2 cards, but if it was, I would take the Flash Flyer always over the Abomination. But given the synergy I have now for the Decayed Zombie, I have multiple things that benefit from it. So that was clearly the reason to pick the Abomination instead. Right, so there's a Voldorun Estate, which is quite good if you have vampires, but I don't, so it's not really amazing. There's a Cruel Witness, there's an Evolving Wilds, also zombies here would have a nice addition, and also the Ecstatic Awakener, amazing black card, but I'm not going to move to black. In here I do like the Evolving Wilds. The mana fixing, I have already some double casters here, so I want to make sure that, I mean the Cruel Witness is good, but I value now the Evolving Wilds because of my things that already are double casters, and the 2 Cruel Witness would be yet another double caster. Alright, so I'm passing these decent black cards, but it is what it is. There's not much. The Selahoof Entomber just isn't very good. But I do need some 2-drop still, but it's just maybe not early. It's early enough in the draft that I'm not gonna take these kind of subpar 2-drops. I'll take the Electric Revelation, it's fine. Let's get something that is at least, playable. There is another repository scarp, but yeah, this is tough. There's also another 4-drop, which is not exciting. It's okay. Cradle of Safety is okay. Surge Strike would, maybe not interesting in this deck. I think it has to be one of the 4-drops. I'm just not sure which one it is. Let's take the Flyer with this step. Alright, so not too exciting in pack 2, but the Spellrune Painter is, it cares about the instant and sorceries. I have, what, 4 of them only. I have no sorceries, 4 instants. But yeah, there's not like a lot of options in this pack, so let's take it. Alright, so at pick 7 I'm passing forward a Hero's Downfall and an Eaten Alive, so someone who's drafting black to my left, sorry, to my right, is very happy about these passes. Alright, well, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna play 2 Revelations. Oh, I'm just taking the Hero's Downfall. I mean, it's an uncommon. I don't really look to play 2 Revelations. Okay, there's a Flip the Switch. There's a Magma Pummeler. This does create me a Decayed Zombie, and like I said, I actually do have use for them, so I'll pick it here. Magma Pummeler is quite clumsy anyway, and I have some expensive cards already picked. Alright, so I take 20 gems over the Red Strong. Even if I find one or two more of these, I'm not excited about the card really at all, so I'll take the 20 gems here. And I should also cut the Traveling Minister. I actually don't mind the Mounted Dread Knight. The fact that it's even, the worst case is that you get the 5/4 Trampler for 5. That's totally fine still as a 5-drop, and then sometimes you get a 6/5. So that's actually a quite good one. All right, Geistlight Snare. I don't think I have too many spirits here. 1, yeah, the Lantern Bearer. That's a 3-mana counter spell. I already have one. I think I'll take the Dread Knight. I might play the Dread Knight just over the other 5-drops I have. Now it's time to take the Entomber when I get it that late. Okay, no one is black-red. Blade Brand. Alright, so let's get something good. Well, there is Storm-Carved Coast, which is something I'm happy to pick, and I will pick it quite high here if there's nothing like obvious better thing. There's nothing. So taking the coast makes my mana even better with Evolving Watch and the coast, and this, has the benefit of always tapping for both colors, and also, after turn, well, this will enter tapped quite often. I mean, untapped quite often if you have other lands before turn 3. So I'll take the coast here. There are some cards I could take. There's even a 2-drop, but this is like not the 2-drop I'm actually interested in. So I'll take this. Easy pick. Necro Duality. Well, there's a Flame Blessed Bolt. A non-token zombie, yeah. I mean, you need to have a lot of zombies. I do have actually a bunch of them, but it's not enough. So this is quite a clumsy card. I'll take the Flame Blessed Bolt. Can I get something? I mean, I guess there's a lot of zombie, which will be like okay. I might actually consider playing the Honeymoon Hearse. That said, I have a bunch of cuts to make. But I'm not really interested in the Lacerate Flesh or Lightning Wolf. And, well, I could draft 20 gems. I'm not gonna splash anything white, so yep. Let's take the Lighter Zombie. I think I will be playing it. Because it is good with Entomber, and it's good. I mean, it can be used for sacrifice fodder for my couple of exploit creatures, and also if I end up playing the Honeymoon Hearse, any 1-mana creature will be important to make it able to actually crew this thing. It's not actually a crew ability, but basically the same thing. Alright, so now this is a very good pack, of course. There's a Diver's Cup, there's a Play with Fire. I mean, it's gonna be one of those, but which one it is? I have 2 Flame Blessed Bolts. I have some 5-drops, but of course Diver's Cup is a really good 5-drop. I still think I'll just go with the 1-mana removal here. And this even can, hurt players, and you get the Scry as a bonus there. Yeah, I mean, Diver's Cup is so good, but I have, reasonable options for 5 drops, so I don't really need a 5 drop here. Alright, so I take the Moonrage Slash now. I guess a Cruel Witness, I would pick it because I have now the mana fixing to make those double casters a bit more reliable to cast, but I'm not gonna. If I'm getting all this burn, I'm gonna pick it. Now 1-for-1 removal is not the best thing ever. If okay, I mean, sometimes opponent has a lot of card advantage, and then trading 1-for-1 isn't what you're looking to do. But I mean, I'll just take all the slashes here. Why wouldn't I? This is just a 3 mana instant for 3 damage is so good. Alright, I mean, my colors are super open to this direction. Now, is it time for me to take some card advantage? Or just another Flame Blessed Bolt? Or, I mean, these blue cards, I mean, not the Gale Drifter, but even an Unblinking Observer is an interesting option here. Because I have now a bunch of instant and sorceries. I actually think I'll take it now. That may seem a bit weird, but I want to have some more early plays, and this helps with all the instant and sorceries. Siphon Essence. Nah, not really. Don't think I'm playing any of these. I'll just take the uncommon. I mean, I have a lot of cuts to make now. Yeah, Frenzied Devils actually could be good in here. I have one Gale Drifter already. I don't need another one of these 5 drops. So the only... Yeah, because I have one of each of these. I don't look to play multiples. I could play the Frenzied Devils given all the instants I got there. Not gonna play anything here either, so let's just take the uncommon and so Lacerate Flesh, Lighting Wolf. Do I care about the 4 mana? This is just such a clumsy card, but I'm not going to play the Lacerate Flesh either, I don't think. But let's pick it and let's see. Yeah, probably not enough creatures for the Honeymoon Hearse. That's gonna be cut, I think, rather easily. Here, okay, none of this is interesting. Is there something that is more likely to... maybe I'm more likely to play the Combatants, but I'm not sure. Ceremonial Knife. I won't be having a lot of creatures. I will be cutting a lot of them, so... But I'm not playing multiple Entombers either, so... Well, I suppose I got the options anyway. Okay. Well, yeah, there's nothing that is only mono blue or red in the sideboard. So... Well, the easy cuts are, that I need to trim the 5-drop slot. I think the Amalgam and the Skywalk Scarp go right away. Frenzied Devils, I think I will play all the instant and sorceries, or maybe there's like something that doesn't... And the counterspell isn't, by the way, good with the Frenzied Devils. You want to have some, proactive cards to combine with this. I think I just like the Mounted Red Knights more. Yeah, I'll cut that. I mean, I might play the Lacerate Flesh in the end. Here I then will be cutting the Honeymoon Hearse, where it is. Ceremonial Knife, I don't have enough creatures for that. Entombers, I'm gonna cut them both. Fear of Death goes away. Or maybe I need to play one of them. Although these 1 mana removal spells are quite good, things to play early in the game. Yeah, they are. To kind of, not fall too much behind. Right, so I will play the Lighter Zombie because it is something I can use for the Scarp Wrangler. Now this is not the greatest Scarp Wrangler deck because I have only one way. No, actually I have 2 ways to make a Decayed Zombie. So yeah, it's okay. And then, but the overall creature count is not very good. But it's still a card that is worth picking because it's quite often also just eats up a removal spell because opponent doesn't want to, have it want me to have on the battlefield. So this is now 24 cards. I have some options to cut. Yeah, the Daybreak Combatants is probably not the card I'm looking to play here. Yeah, this is quite fine in the end. 13 creatures. A lot of burn spells, but nothing really that deals with big creatures. But I have a bounce spell for that, and I have my own big tramplers and even a couple of flyers in here. So, and I have the Flip the Switch, which I mean doesn't really deal with big creatures, but I mean big creatures cost a lot of mana, and it's easier to get those with the Flip the Switch. When I have this in my hand, at some point I can actually leave up 3 mana to maybe counter something. So yeah, this is the deck. 10 blue, 13 red, and a couple of mana fixing here. I have a double caster red, and I have more red cards, so that's rather easily going to be 8 mountains plus 7 islands with this land, so the mana will be quite nice. Let's use some... Yeah, I do like these. Both the Midnight Hunt and the Crimson Bow Island. Let's take the Midnight Hunt here now. That was 7 and then 8 mountains. How about the... Oh, this is actually quite nice. I would like this art a little bit better as a big picture. This small picture doesn't really do justice to it. I think there's so much detail in it. But this is also good with a nice moon there. So let's take this. Yeah, this is an art appreciation channel. Didn't you know that? Alright, so this is the... I end up playing with the Lacerate Flesh, but because, I mean, I cut all the other 5 drops. I have the Dread Knight and then the Lacerate Flesh, which still triggers, you know, the Hellkite getting a 5/5 thing, and, you know, triggers the Painter, Crasher. Sure, I have a 9 instants, 1 sorcery. That's a good amount of support for my things that care about those. Alright, that's the deck. Okay, that's nice. I can play the Flip the Switch as my, you know, own curve spell. That's what you can do when you don't have anything else to play. That's totally fine. Let's get the... Guess I'll take the mountain because I have the 1 double. But I have enough both color sources, but yeah, I mean, doesn't matter which I get. I think most likely won't be mattering. Okay, they have a lot of zombies, so do I. The Scarbranger isn't exactly a good attacker against that thing, but I mean, it's fine. I can still use it to, you know, play its own ability. And yeah, it gets killed, like I said, it often does. Right, so here I'm gonna keep the flipped switch mana up rather than play my Lady Zombie, which does require 3 untapped creatures to do anything, and the opponent is in the same game plan here, so let's just... I was supposed to play the Lady Zombie there, but it's no big deal. It's not like it's gonna do anything here. Yeah. But it's possible that I won't be... it's possible that I won't be... I mean, if it was on the battlefield, because it's possible I use all my mana now. Yeah, I could make this into a 6/5 by killing this thing. No, I don't have mana to cast it, so let's do this. It's still a 5/4 trample. That's what I was saying. It's a totally acceptable, you know, worst case. Opponent does have a better card here, though. Don't really want to. Yeah, because they can trade now, but they got the blood tokens. Our decks are very similar. Alright, yeah, 2 for 1 would be annoying, but I guess I'll attack and see what they do. Because because this thing trambles, I can still choose to go for 2 for 1. I mean, 1 for 2, I mean, from in my perspective. Okay, they want to raise. That means they probably have a ways to, you know, deal with the Dread Knight. Otherwise, I'm winning this race. I have about 3 Moonrage's slashes. Okay, that is... They're gonna maybe gain life with that thing. I could then use the double burn. Oh, they have another color too. Yeah, I guess I won't be using the double. Well, they're not even gonna gain life here. Why would they? Because this also makes a creature unblockable. That's more valuable. Alright, that is allowing them to get 1 non-creature from top 6 cards. And it is a Fading Hope. Alright, it's not the worst. Yep, let's kill the flyer. If they had the blue mana up, I would actually not maybe kill it, but because they could have bounced it. Alright, I need something else now than land. I'm not happy about the fact that they have the blood tokens here, because they do have the advantage now in this game, because my stuff in... this is what I was talking about. 1 for 1 removal doesn't really always... I mean, even if it's efficient, it's not that great when opponent can... you know, I mean, if they have some card advantage, and now they kind of have with the blood tokens. Right, so let's draw a non-land. That is bad. It would even become a knight. I might have to use up the Moonrage's Slash here now. I don't want them to get the free trigger for this thing, and it's not like okay, they actually just go for the Fading Hope. Well, in that case, I don't have to use the Moonrage Slash. But they have a counter spell. Oh, they don't. That would have been horrible. And now I actually have the Bloody Zombie active ability up here, so that's kind of okay. Another Fading Hope. If I use this now, I can get the value, but then they have more. They can attack for 2 extra damage here. Don't think it's worth it. I mean, that can be critical. If I had the Moonrage Slash mana here, yes, then I would do it. Because then I could just kill it. Okay, they have something, not much I can do about it. That's gonna die to a Flame Blessed Bolt. That's fine. They have 1 card left, but they have the lifelink in here. They have also the Celestus. And I drew another land. Okay, well, I think with these lands it's pretty hard now. Neither I did anything with the Lade Zombie actually. So the problem is they are now winning the race thanks to the Fading Hopes. Even though they kind of wasted 2 cards on that. With the Celebrants that I'm not able to answer, it's all they need. I need like a Lacerate Flesh immediately, and they drew their splash card. Right. Okay. I just lose here. There's nothing I can do. I can't kill it, and my lands don't allow me to. I don't have 2 blockers for the Many Sky. That was kind of a uneventful game in the sense that I really didn't play any new spells. Yeah, I basically just flooded out. That's how it went. Okay, on the play. Now this is the kind of hand that will not be using the Flip the Switch in anytime soon, with the exception of our opponent, trying to do something on my turn. So that I have the 3 mana up before I have done any other play. I wonder if I'm supposed to start with the Painter, because it can push through slightly better. Not gonna use a Flame Blessed Bolt on that thing. Yeah, I guess I'm 2/2 flyed, but this thing... I guess I'll take the flyer still. They might have some cheap removal on it, like a Flame Blessed Bolt or a Gift of Fangs, which wouldn't work on the Spellrune Painter that well. But it's not gonna become a knight, for example, anytime soon. So this is gonna be a 2/3 with the +1/+1 trigger, which I can trigger, by the way, but still. I mean, opponent just played the Wedding Invitation. I'm starting to. Yeah, this is actually fine now, and this is how the Decayed Zombie can work nicely with these effects that require 2 untapped creatures. Of course, they are in the same set. They are designed to work well together. So now I can play the Lade Zombie and the Spellrune Painter, and then I can actually start fixing my draws a little bit. So I will look at the top card of my library, and then I might put it in my graveyard if it's something I don't like. Although I don't know how many cards I don't like, because even a land is fine with the Lacerate Flesh in here. But I mean, I still get to look at it. I don't have to put it in the graveyard. Alright, so that's a problem. That's a real big problem, because my removal... I mean, I guess now I need to find some... Well, let's see. I don't have to tutor for anything. I don't have to decide anything then. Whether I'm gonna keep that thing or not. The bounce spell would be quite nice actually. And now I'm gonna keep this because 2 red might be still something I wanna have. And plus now this makes my Lacerate Flesh a thing I can use here. I don't expect them to block here, but I suppose I'll take the 2-for-1 if they do. That said, if I attack with the Spellrune Painter, I won't be able to use the Lade Zombie, and now I won't be wanting to have any more lands. Still, I might want to somehow try to raise. I'm gonna use, of course, the Flip the Switch. Although if I can use the Flip the Switch, assuming they have a spell on their return, then I can actually, with the other Decayed Zombie, do some things. So yeah, let's do it. It is fine. And hey, if they block the Painter, like I said, I'll take the 2-for-1 or 1-for-2. This is just a card that is, it's worth it. And I can use the Flame Blessed Bolt because it will make the Painter into a 3-power creature. Also, this makes into a knight if they don't block. That's an interesting thing too. The Painter is gonna be a lot better, but they don't care about it. No respect. It's fine though. So this is becoming 3-4. This is gonna die, and I can still have the flip the switch up. It's fine. Now, of course, the opponent is having a very good trade here, but I mean, Anje being a 4-5, I can't even block it that well. It's just, I mean, sad, but it is how it has to be. They didn't want to gain life. Understandably, they are at 16. They can use this offensively at some point. Okay, look at the stuff in the deck. Anje and the Blood Vial Purveyor. I just hope they don't have ways to, get stuff from graveyard, because, I mean, me getting rid of these two bomb rares is amazing, and now I hope they don't have more to follow up with. Alright, so this is still fine, because I have got both my Decayed Zombies and then the Ladder Zombie here doing things. Lantern Bearer, sure, it's fine. And then I won't be attacking with the Decayed Zombies, it's too valuable to... I mean, if they were at lower life total, sure, but not now. I want to just fix my draws here. Let's see what rare they're gonna find next. Hopefully it's not an actual rare, it's just something that doesn't block my flyers. I mean, I can kill that, so it's... I guess, yeah, and then the Blood Vial, they will get the Blood Vial Purveyor. I suppose I will also... I mean, that's so funny, but I have the Lacerate Flesh, so that doesn't matter so much. But I'm gonna take now 8 damage, but I will get a blood token from this thing. They can also gain life with the Wedding Invitation. Jump blocks, I go to 11, no big deal. This thing also, tramples, but I could have jump blocked, but 3 damage doesn't really make any sense. I guess I could have seen my draw before deciding with the block, but so this thing works out that when it dies, they don't have any other legendary creature good. Wait a minute, if this returns a legendary vampire, which this is not, I think it works quite nicely then, because the legendary vampire is enough to keep it alive. But yep, I'm happy the Anje is actually exiled, so they couldn't return that. Alright, so I can kill the Crimson Bride. So that's the third rare I'm dealing with, and the Blood Vial Purveyor is there kind of like... for a second visit here. Alright, anyway, this is totally fine. Don't get any... Well, I do get 1 blood token with the Purveyor here, of course, but... Let's hope this is now the final rare they have. Now this gets exiled, so that is really good. But my point is that if this was a legendary... What? they didn't... Oh, they got their trifecta of rares. I dealt with each of them and they are like, this is not fun. I will concede rather than try to win with regular commons and uncommons. Okay, well, that was an interesting game. So my point is, I haven't actually thought about this. So the creature that gets returned gains. When you don't control a legendary vampire, exile this creature. But if that's a legendary vampire itself, then it just permanently sticks. So if I didn't have exactly a Flame Blessed Bolt to make the Anje actually get to exile, they might have returned this and then it would, stay on the battlefield, even if I kill the Crimson Bride. I think that's how it works. It doesn't say when you don't control another or something like that. Okay, cool. Didn't even realize it. Maybe there's some constructed synergies for that now, that it's actually going to be a reliable reanimator if you target a legendary vampire. Okay, again on the play with a decent hand, because I can't play the Ladder Zombie turn 1, but I can play turn 2 while still having to play with fire here, unless I draw one of my 2-drops, but that wouldn't be a bad thing either. I just use this Evolving Wilds again on my own turn, because just to save time and minimize the risk of misclicking and accidentally not using it on their opponent's end step. Like I said, a regular draft queue, not that I mean, you don't have to be... I mean, I try to play optimally and all tight and all that, but it's such a low amount of information that you give to the opponent. How does it affect their turn 1 play? There's like if there's I mean, in Constructed it is totally different, of course. I mean, you don't play Evolving Wilds in Constructed, but in some formats you play Fabled Passage. Point is, in Limited it really doesn't affect much, and it's just more convenient to use it right away. Alright, so let's kill this before it starts clocking me. I don't want to trade with the Abomination either. Okay, that's decent. So I actually do get to use my Ladi Zombie, and if I see a land, I will keep a land for sure. If I see a non-land, depends on the card, I might, mill it, because I want to get into my Mounted Dread Knight. Okay, Lifelinker, sure. That I'm gonna mill. Also, it has this step, so it doesn't even matter if it is in there. Alright, so no land, but I can still play the Lantern Bearer, and well, I guess I can double block this, but it's just quite annoying if they do have if they have a Flame Blessed Bolt, it will be annoying. Because then this gets exiled. I don't mind losing the Lantern Bearer if it goes to my graveyard. But I don't want to randomly give them 2 life per turn either. So, I mean, I can't just block with the Ladi Zombie, that's the thing. But maybe I will double block with the Zombie and the Lantern Bearer. Okay, they don't. At least currently. Now, can they have an instant speed way to actually, sacrifice this somehow? Because one thing this format has is a Blade Brand. There could be a Blade Brand. And that makes the single block bad. Of course, it makes them, kill both of my blockers if they get Death Touch here. But I'm thinking about if they have some way to, lose this, sacrifice this mid-combat, this becomes a 4-3. I mean, this is not gonna. I'm not gonna race with the Lantern Bearer. I'd just rather see what they have. Let's make them use it. I mean, this could be ending up just so that it trades with the Lantern Bearer. Totally fine, and it seems like that's the case. They didn't do anything. Geist Wave. I don't need it. I need actually. I can bounce my own guy, but not really worth it. I don't have the mana to do that stuff. I just want the lands. Okay, so that's totally acceptable. And I guess I'll take the Play with Fire back. I will sacrifice the Decayed Zombie. Oh, they have Light Up the Night. What on earth is happening? They killed my Ladi Zombie with the Light Up the Night. What the? Please someone explain. Alright, anyway, I did draw, but I did quite a bit of work to, dig into that land. So finally I did get there. So this is the perfect spot now that I even lost my, way to utilize this 2-2 in any reasonable way. I can sacrifice this guy and return the... it's gonna be the Play with Fire because the Obsessive Astronomer is something I can deal with. I mean, Geist Wave is not really that amazing here. I'm not gonna bounce my own guys to draw the card or something like that. Now I have these 2 5-mana cards, which means that if I draw a land, that's great. If I draw a non-land, I have only 1 5-mana spell, the other Dread Knight left in the deck. And I don't have any double blue spells, so I can actually cast every other card I draw. So I can either draw the land that allows me to cast this, or a spell I can play. Okay, they have a Hero's Downfall. I would have, by the way, blocked. I don't care about the 3-3. That trading with a combat trick is totally fine. But they just wanted to push through some damage. I drew the land, which I wanted to have. Now I have a 6-5. Let's see if they have another removal spell, because soon they're gonna regret using this Hero's Downfall that early. Maybe they have. Grisly Ritual. Alright. So I can play the Gale Drifter, that's a good part here. It's a 2-2 flyer and I'm actually winning the race currently. Not gonna play the island because I don't have double casters for blue. And no, this is actually... Yeah, I'm gonna play it after all. I was thinking about saving it for blood tokens I can get from the Lacerate Flesh. But actually this is the kind of turn where they know about the Play with Fire. And the 2-2 is something I'm not going to block with this guy. And at some point they will actually start, getting value from the day-night cycle. So let's just, do this, and this is totally fine. They have only 2 cards left. Now they have 2 blood tokens to redraw, but I have 2 flyers. Black-red isn't that easily going to be, you know, blocking flyers. There are some, but not too many ways to do that. Okay, the Lacerate Flesh is quite nice against the Suitor. I even get 1 blood token to throw away the mountain here. They didn't have a removal there. Do they have a way to save this? Undying Malice would be one. Discarding a mountain. Okay, 1 redraw used up. Then it dies, and I can use the blood token end of their turn. But yeah, they need to find. Of course, 1 flying creature would be enough. I'm gonna raise this 5/4. Unless they have like a wedding invitation, yeah, then they can gain life. This is a vampire after all. Okay, land not good. Land not good. So this is actually this is an interesting situation because I could make my clock into a 2-turn clock by using Lantern Bearer. Neither of these guys need flying twice. It's completely redundant, but it is a +1/+1 pump effect. I really wanted to draw a spell in one of the top 2 cards. Problem is that if they do deal with my flyer, they're gonna deal with the 3/3, and then this could have, you know, made one of my ground guys that I could actually draw from the deck into a flyer. So this is not an easy decision here. But I could force them to find an answer in the next 2 draws, because they have still the 1 blood token and 1 draw step. Oh, this is so much better on a ground guy though. But I will not be able to win in 2 attacks otherwise. So let's force them to have something. I'm not happy about this because this is a bit risky. But given that I'm still facing a 5, you know, power trampler here, if they get to deal with these guys, I need to win quickly because I'm not really. I have an Electric Revelation in the deck. That's actually a reason also to play the land, because I can of course use 2 lands to redraws if I happen to have it. But then again, I want to also be able to cast my spells after I use the card draw. They have a statue. Now 2 fresh cards. Is either of them going to deal with the situation? No. So Lantern's Lift was risky, but paid off this time. It seems the matchmaking takes like a 1 minute quite regular here, so the queue is definitely not that alive anymore. Again on the play, I see my dragon for the first time. I don't have any other play than the play with fire though. But I have a 3 mana play, I have the dragon. I don't care about these 5 drops in this hand, but I don't think this is a candy mulligan still. You just have to get a bit lucky and draw the lands. And I can get a scry out of this. I really don't want to, but if I need to, especially if they don't have a target for it otherwise. Okay, just draw the land right away, which is, by the way, not enough. I needed even a mountain specifically for the Hellkite. But okay, I guess sometimes you just, I mean, what the... Alright. Keep a 2-lander, draw 2 lands immediately, sure. Okay, let's get rid of the Death Toucher. I might be tapping out for a couple of turns anyway, so this was a good spot. I'm not gonna, of course, block it with the dragon. Yep, if they don't kill it, I have a 6/5 coming up. Wow, that animation, I don't remember seeing it. I guess I haven't really played a lot with this card. I have played it sometimes. I think I have seen the animation, but I didn't remember that. Alright, so this is now, I mean, I didn't expect the game to start like this. The opponent has nothing so far, and I have this, actually my turn, keeping a 2-lander on the play, and I hit my 5 drop on turn 5. How often that happens? Not really the most likely thing to happen. So now these are, I mean, massive threats, and I have got to remove their stuff. That is actually able to block the Dread Knight, but only able to block. I can make... I mean, it's kind of... No, I would need 1 more mana. So this is exile at the end step. So this actually works nicely with the Repository's Cup. But if I had 1 more mana, I would do it. Because then I could play, you know, the Moonrage Slash burn the opponent attack for a lot in the air, and then return the Moonrage Slash with this thing, but that requires 7 mana, because it's not a knight now. If I attack, I mean I can make a 4/4 flyer, but that's not, because this thing has, trample, so if I deal 4 damage to this thing, I have 8 power in the, sorry, 5, because this costs 5. I have a 9 power, 9 in the air, they go to 9. Then I will trample over 4 damage, they are at 5. Okay, that's still not enough. But it's tempting. It's amazing how tempting it is. I have 1 timeout because they are almost. I mean, they are dead if they don't kill the Hellkite. But problem is, if they do kill the Hellkite, I just wasted the Lacerate Flesh. Oh, it's so tough. I guess I'm not gonna take that risk, but it's really, really tempting because I would have 9 power in the air. Then this tramples over for 4. That's they will be at 5. If they would have went down to 3, I would have done that. Now the problem is, I mean, of course it would still be enough with the Hellkite, but problem is that if they kill this, then them being at 5 means the slash doesn't do anything. Even though with the repository scarp I can bite back. Okay, they have some effect that cares about, me having taken some damage, but I'm still not gonna slash that thing here. So. Are they gonna get okay, just a Tireless Hauler actually, nothing else. That doesn't have. So I can, let's see. Do I now have a victory? So this gives me, whenever you cast it on, exile that token at the beginning of the next end step. So if I cast it right now, I will exile it in my end step. It's their end step now. So I can use the Scarp even if I don't draw the land. Sure. That would be good too, but anyway, they're gonna take, what, 7 here? Oh, did I? Oh man. I guess they have 2 mana up, but this is a mistake. I had the victory here. I could have just played the Lacerate Flesh. But then again, they do have 2 mana up, so if I make myself a 5/5 flyer and they kill the Hellkite, this doesn't even kill the Howler here. So yeah, maybe it was like a bit risky here. But this is some nice value. So slash, play with fire, I'll take the slash. I'll take the slash here. Okay, 5 more life, so they are fighting, they can attack for 4, but I think this is now I'm not gonna play around any, actually I can play both of these things. Yeah, sure, so Lacerate, no I cannot. I can play one of these things. Well, I will just, I mean, this is just a victory if they don't have anything. Now I'm not playing around things now. I will just attack for 9 in the air and hope it's enough. And it was. It didn't seem like they were out auto passing, the priorities. So that was one of the arena gimmicks. Because in tabletop play or in Magic Online, there are 2 mana instant speed kill spells in the format that could, even a fight spell is enough. So it was risky with against 2 cards in hand and 2 open mana. But I saw them passing those priorities without any response. So that made it a little easier for me to go for it. Okay, finally I'm on the draw. With a keepable hand though. No 3-drop, but the flip the switch does work as a 3-drop. Okay, that is, yeah, I guess I'll just kill it because it's gonna deal a bunch of damage. There's nothing it can, enchant right now, so I don't wanna start taking this 2 damage here, and it's gonna kill eventually something anyway. So let's get rid of that guy. Okay, I can also kill the 3 mana play if it has 2 toughness. Oh, and it does, so I mean that's lucky. I had to even draw this, and then they had to play the thing that actually gets killed. Unblinking Observer against Flip the Switch. I like to flip the switch more because if I draw the 4th land, I can, I have the token to eat with the scarp. Let's see what they do. I think the observer isn't, because yeah, that might enable me to play this thing, but okay, they had nothing, which is fine, because now I play the Gale Drifter, hoping they don't have a Syncopate, but oh well. Because Syncopate exiles. Other counter spells still allow me to use it. I guess there's... Is there another kind of a... Is there a Dissipate or whatever? Exiling counter? I don't remember. It might be in Midnight Hunt. Okay, well, my graveyard goes away. Nothing to return. But it's fine, because I can use the Lacerate Flesh. Oh, and even drew the land for it. And then I can pick the Lacerate Flesh with the Repository Scarp. And that's a good enough target for it. I don't wanna... I mean, I'm taking 7 damage if I play just something like an blinking Observer. I could have done it though with the, you know, play it and leave the flip the switch up, but I can still do it later. The 4-mana taxing counterspell is quite a lot. I mean, it's gonna require more lands from them to actually reliably play around it. So I'm not too worried about it yet. Plus, you always get the token from this, even if they pay. Okay, so I'm not gonna return anything with the scarp. Alright, so that was a bit annoying, because they are actually the damage adds up from these Decayed Zombies, but whatever. Let's do this. And, returning the flip the switch is definitely not as valuable, because opponent knowing about the counterspell is really... oh, this is super annoying. That's super annoying. I hope they have a land drop and they play the thing. Then it's not that annoying, but it's still annoying because that thing has flashback. Yup, the opponent got me. No blocks. I have to take 8 here. Yeah, these things giving basically the 4 extra damage if you can't block the zombies is going to be a lot, often quite relevant. I'm in the ropes here now. I'm definitely not, and they have that thing, so they're even waiting for something valuable. Oh, they just play around counter spells also makes a ton of sense actually. So now I have to double block the Digraph Horde. And then hopefully they try to play the Digraph Horde here, but the sad thing is that they still get this. Alright, they have a Nebelgast Intruder. I'm not gonna counter that, that's not the problem here. Another Digraph Horde is the problem. And I mean, I can find some of my removal spells. I have a lot of removal spells still that deal with the Intruder, not much that deal with the 4/5. Okay. I mean, this is just they can pay for this thing. They just had all they needed there. So, I mean, I have to actually either jump block or trade with the Intruder, go to 2 here. So that's just I mean, and they still have all this stuff left. So I wasn't gonna win this game. That concession was just a necessary thing here. Or maybe not a necessary thing to concede. It's never really necessary, but it was inevitable that I'll lose, so I just bought some time. Okay, this is an awkward hand. This requires 2 mountains, this requires still 1. I do have the 2 mana fixing, so I have basically 10 ways to get red mana, 8 mountains and the 2 lands that, you know, can produce, well, one of which can produce red and the other one can fetch me a mountain. And if I draw any land, I can play the Falcon Abomination still on turn 3, so I will keep this, but this could be in the end of the event if I don't get my lucky top decks this time. I got them in the one game where I kept a 2-lander, that was amazing, but now I will be in trouble if I don't. Okay, I did. And I'm not gonna even let them untap, I'll just kill it right away, because they could easily respond with a pump spell, and that would be awkward. I don't have a good block on that 2/2 anyway, and that can easily be a 3/2 as well. And okay, alright, I got the lucky draws. Suddenly I'm going to play my turn for 4/4 flyer, when I needed specifically 2 red sources for it, and I drew them. But the opponent has Tovolara, which means that they're gonna draw a card here now. Well, now I just hope they don't have a removal spell, and that I draw my 5th land also. I'm gonna leave this guy to block. I don't want to give them, you know, free card. It would be nice to attack for 3, but now it's more important to, you know, not give them any cards. And ideally I mean, if everything goes well, Hellkite survives and I draw a 5th land, and then I'm basically winning at that point. But now it seems like they have pump spells, and I'm gonna go for the double block here. Hopefully not a trample grinding one. Now I could go for a triple block. That's gonna give me 7 power, which is probably gonna be enough to kill it, but also I will lose the Hellkite. So I will go for the double block and hope it's not a massive might. Hopefully it's like a Surge Strike or something like that. Oh, and Surge Strike actually... No, Surge Strike is still not enough to deal with the triple block. They would need to have 2 things. But yeah, if I just draw... I assume this will definitely survive now. And then I hope I draw a land so that they don't have another way to save it from the Lacerate Flesh, which will also give me, 5 power temporarily. Lunar Frenzy, that's trample and... Okay, yeah. Well, that would have been... they could have given it +4 and first strike. And that actually, triple block would have been a horrible... I would have just conceded right away. They still got the card draw there, so it wasn't a massive might, but it still gave them trample. Sadly, they played a werewolf, so this is actually gonna make it into a knight. Alright. It's such a funny thing because it's a totally different game if I drew a land here now. Because imagine if I kill this, even get a blood token, which might not be necessary ever. I attack for 9 in the air and they only have a 2-3 and a 2-5. Now they will have a 6-5. 3-4 taps for 2 mana. This is a 4-4. They have this activated ability up. Because when they control 3 or more wolves and werewolves, which they do, I think I lost to this. I mean, I needed to specifically draw a land here. Untap one, not the Evolving Wilds. This ability says +X+O and trample. They have mana for quite a bit, especially if they don't attack with the Weaver of Blossoms. This is a 6-5. And they keep drawing cards. Man. I mean, I kept the 2-lander, so not getting the 5th land here is understandable totally. But it's just so different thing if I did. They would be at 9 and they wouldn't have Tovolar. They would be attacking for 4 here. Putting me to 13, then I can continue with... Oh man. I mean, I have to do something. I've almost lost my time here. Well, let's see what happens. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm dead now. If I can somehow survive this turn, but the fact is that this gives trample. It's I can't block with anything. I'm dead if they attack with everything. I must block. They can add 4 power there. Okay, they chose not to. Well, I'm taking this damage then. If they attack with everything, they force blocks, but I guess... I mean, I don't know, I'm tapped out. I think they should have done that. I mean, the full block... I mean, yes, I would trade with the Tovolar, but they would draw cards and they would still deal a ton of damage there. Alright, well, this is now... Even with the land, it would be awkward, but now that I didn't still draw it, it's game over now. Alright, so... I guess it was still 3 wins. Well, this is the format, of course. At least I, beat one opponent who played the Vampire Race, all of them, and I still got to answer them all, so that was that. But there was not much to do here. And in the first game I also lost. Yeah, that wasn't a rare game. That was just a very uneventful game where I drew more lands than the opponent. But yeah, that was... I at least got to use my dragon a bit here. And... yeah, deck was fine. 3 wins is like... I mean, it wasn't an amazing deck. I don't have enough, maybe, impressive 2-drops. If I had like 3 Festival Crashers and stuff like that, it would have been good. A lot better. I mean, the Stitched Assistant still is a bit out of place in here. Not a big fan of the Gale Drifter, so this could have been a lot better deck. But I guess I drafted there wasn't really an option to draft a better deck. Maybe if I was black, because it was so open in pack 2, but it wasn't really open in pack 1, so probably not. Probably not. Anyway, claim the prize, and I will see you in the next video, which will be still this double feature draft. Thank you for watching, and bye bye.